Good evening, teachers. In this video, a few observations are there which I would like to share with all of you. I'm sure that you will all spare some time to watch this video and to understand the concerns that I'm trying to share with all of you. We are all working in a school that is 21st century school, and this is English medium school, and we are to work as per the needs of the students who are to compete 10 years from now, 15 years from now, 20 years from now. Being teachers, being learned people, we should be far-sighted people. We should all be aware of what kind of world our children are going to face when they pass out from the school. What will be the requirements that our children need to fulfill at that very moment when they graduate from the school? So, the basic needs of the students we need to keep in our mind. The first among them is their communication. My dear colleagues, I know all of you. I often interact with all of you. I know your strengths. And as per my observations, all of you are very much capable of expressing your viewpoints in the class in English. All of you are very much capable of talking to the children in English, of explaining all the questions in English. So English is not something which you can say is a phobia for you. English is the language which you can speak. English is the language in which you can explain different concepts. English is the language in which you can raise questions, you can assess the students. So if we have all these strengths in ourselves, if we have all these skills in ourselves, why is it so that those skills and strengths remain underutilized? English speaking culture doesn't seem to be there in our school. And we have been making such commitments also that will work and will work in a manner that our children, they start understanding this language and they start using this language. We often have this complaint against our students that they use rough language or they use indecent language, and sometimes they even use abusive language. Such complaints are often shared with me by a number of teachers. But if we ourselves communicate to them in English, and English becomes the language of communication of our school, then I don't think that our children will ever be using the language which we don't appreciate. So English is the language that is to be used by the children when they are writing their examination. English is the language which children are to use when they are participating in inter-school competitions. English is the language which they are to use when they are conducting any kind of activity on the stage. And English is the language which they need to understand once they pass out from the school and they are in the world of competition. So, for preparation of school activities, for preparation of examination, for preparation of the kind of life that our children are to lead after they graduate from the school, English is very important. So please make sure that communication in the class is in English. Next, I would like to talk about teaching learning. See, I'm using the phrase teaching learning. When we are educating the children and we say that we teach them, We need to keep objective, we need to keep the purpose of teaching in our mind. So, objective and purpose of teaching is always learning. Teaching should always lead to learning. If our teaching does not lead to learning, it's of no use. And teaching will lead to learning if we raise questions to the children, we assess the learning of the children. We may be teaching any class, we may be teaching any subject. Teaching must get transferred to learning, and therefore questions in the class are very important. Now, we are all familiar with different kinds of questions. Questions are memory based. We also say recall based. Questions are understanding based. Questions are analysis based. Questions are evaluation based. And questions are creativity based. We need to assess not only the memory of the children, or we need to assess not only this, that up to what extent children have been successful in remembering an answer or in memorizing an answer. If our focus is on memory based questions only, that means we are encouraging the children only to memorize the answer, to learn by rote. So, rote learning is not 21st century learning, it is not 21st century teaching. We need to ensure that whatever has been explained in the class, it has been understood by the children also. If we say that name a few environmentalists, the child will tell you the names which he has memorized. That way, this becomes a memory-based question. Now we go a step further. What have you understood about the contribution of one of these environmentalists? But this becomes understanding-based question. Up to what extent the efforts of all these environmentalists were effective? And how do you reach this conclusion? This is evaluation-based question. Okay. If you are given the choice, would you like to be an environmentalist? If yes, how would you like to contribute to the environment of the modern times? So this is creativity-based question. So, my dear teachers, my dear colleagues, these are the needs of our students. We are to groom them for the examination, and CISCE, if it is held in high esteem all across the country, it is primarily because of this reason that the examination system of CISCE is very effective. And the children who score good marks in the examination that is conducted by CISCE, their learning power is strong, understanding power is strong, they have power to analyze, they have power to evaluate, they have power to create. So we need to develop all these strengths in our children. I'm sure that after watching this video, you will give a serious thought to all these concerns which I have shared with you. These are valid concerns. Being teachers, we should be skilled enough to make such long-lasting contribution to the life of the children that our children get thoroughly prepared for the kind of life that they are to lead in the days to come. So, in 10th standard, 12th standard, in all other classes, children need to be strongly equipped. And the onus and the responsibility, this lies on you, this lies on me. So this is our collective responsibility. I'll be trying to contribute the way I can and I expect from all of you to contribute the way you can. And you are highly capable. I have complete faith in you. I'm absolutely sure that you will leave no stone unturned in enabling our children, in equipping our children, in enriching our children, and in empowering our children. Thank you. Take care. God bless you.